All right.
Good to go.
Okay. So thank you guys all for joining. I'm just going to go over the host coaching template and just kind of go over some main keys of things that that we all should actually just be using. So basically, I was just going to go over, is anybody here new? Hello? Everybody's muted.
I was going to say, you guys should be able to unmute if you're quiet, if you have a quiet area. That way you guys can have an interactive conversation with Miranda.
I'm not sure. Is Angie, are you new?
I am not new.
No, okay.
I've just been kind of off the grid for a while.
Okay. So I was just going to go over here, I'm going to share my screen.
I'm about, 6 months now? Almost, yeah, it's about 6 months.
Okay. So, I mean, then everybody here that's here now should know where to find the Wolf Team document then. So I'm just going to click on it. Hoping some more newer consultants were going to hop on so I can share with them what I had planned, but I'm pretty sure you guys all know where to go. So anyways, I always just scroll down to the bottom to find that host coaching template. Should have had it open, but kind of just wanted to show those that didn't know where it was at. But okay, so here we are. Okay, so yeah, and you know what, I have to admit though, with this where it says mail host packet at least 2 weeks before party starts, I have been trying to be on top of that, but I've only been able to get them out like a couple of days before, like right on time when their party starts. But I myself, I need to work on that, so I apologize for that, but I wanted to be honest with you guys. So once you get that host packet, mailed out, and you know that they have received it, this right here, everything in red is what we're gonna base out what we send out to our host. Always keep in contact, communication with your host. That way they know what the steps, what to expect for the next day. I usually like to let them know what's gonna go on the next day. So the night before I'll message them and let them know. So, I mean, you guys kind of already know all of this. This is the message you send out to them, thanking them for booking the party, make sure everything's still in place, that they're still wanting to host that party on those dates set. Basically, okay. So again, I need to step up on my end. I don't actually make calls. I always just send messages directly to my host. Most of them have been pretty good at responding back to me right away. And there's some on there that actually just don't even acknowledge you. I've had a couple of those, and sometimes I feel a little frustrated and I kind of just want to shut down their party, but I don't. I just keep going and keep rolling through, because unfortunately those parties, they didn't actually work out. Some, I got a couple of orders from them, but usually if they're not going to contact you, they're not interacting in their parties, then your party's not going to be successful at all. However, though, that's where I drop the ball and I should make those calls myself, but I would highly recommend making those calls first. Like I said, if you can't reach them through phone calls, send them those messages. Most of them do respond without any problem. So right here, you want to go ahead and explain to them why it's important with the engagement, just like I was going over with you guys, because if they're not going to interact, their guests aren't going to interact, and then therefore they're not going to get any sales and they're going to earn anything. So they're wasting their time and our time. And then let's see. Definitely make sure you go over the host special. I've had some hosts ask me what would be going on in the future months. And I made that mistake because they were going to actually host a party with me 1 month, but then they asked what their host special is going to be the next following month and it was better. So she ended up canceling and chose to do it the next following month, which was okay, but you don't want your host to schedule, because sometimes it will just turn out into being a complete, just canceling on you altogether. I have had that happen before. So just make sure that once they get that date scheduled, that they don't reschedule, because you'll lose them, unfortunately. Okay, the kit credit rebate. Keep in mind that is where you need to, I guess, explain to them, if their sales hit $300, they'll get that $25 kit rebate. Or if they hit the 400, they'll get the 50, but they do need to hit at least 300 for that kit rebate to kick in. Let's see. And this is a big help as well. So if your hosts know their guests more than we do. So if you're letting them know that they need to keep an eye out for those hosts that will interest their guests, and also to entice them to book their own party to earn some free products as well. That will help the host, because then they'll receive that future party pick, which is that half price item on their party if their party qualifies. Okay. And this right here as well, go over how they need to create an account through their party link, so they can start making their way, where they're at, because we'll get that email as soon as they receive that wish list saying, and then that's where we need to step in and work as hard as we can to help them reach their goal to get to those items that they're on their wish list. Make sure, ask them questions and then go over those questions. And then this right here, regardless if you had the phone call with them or not, just make sure you thank them for having that call or message, group message with you. And then make sure that they post this on their regular timeline, not on their party itself, because the party won't be created at this point, but make sure that they post something like this. And I always encourage them to make their own post, to make it sound like them more so than this. I mean, this is definitely here to help you if you do not have any other ideas for your host, but also if they're, want to give their own little bits and pieces to it, then they can definitely do that. And I also recommend that with the daily posts that we have them send out. I'm always encourage them to make those posts their own. So let me see. Okay, go back down. All right, so the week of the party. Send these words to explain how to invite after you create the group. Make sure once they have been invited that they accept. So most of your hosts are going to know this, but I think you should make sure that you are going through this host coaching template from A to Z and not pick what you want to put in or send to your host, because you're going to assume that they know how to do all of this and how to, join the group and become an admin and all of that stuff. But I have ran into a couple of hosts that didn't know exactly how to do that. So you definitely want to send them the correct messages. And again, keep in mind, red is what you'll send. These are the responses. And then follow up with them if they have any more questions. Okay, and then Wednesday, that's when you'll create the group through Consultants Corner. And then you'll set that up through your business page. And then you'll go through and send them this message right here. Let's see. Sorry, let me see something real quick. Okay, sorry, I don't want to miss something. Okay, and I know this is another image you're going to send or have them post on their page, but this is going to be something that they're going to post right before their party starts. More people will see this one, and it will help remind them that, oh yeah, her party has started. Let's go make sure we joined it. We want to have some fun. Okay. And then this is where you're going to ask them to, because a lot of the times we have multiple parties going at once. We start them on Thursday and end them on Monday and close up on Tuesdays. But this is where you're going to ask them if you can go ahead and create a a group message so you can just send it once instead of sending it to multiple people. You don't need to do that. You'll get overwhelmed if you're sending those messages individually. However, you do want to send some messages individually to keep that relationship with your host. Anyways, here's some responses back when you're contacting them. And then the day of your party, you create that group message, and this is what you'll send out to them. Okay, here are your daily posts you're going to send out to, there's day 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like I said, I encourage my hosts to make those posts their own. That's what they're going to actually post in their party. We get a lot of response from these ones that Becky's created for us. Let's see. So I think I missed something here. Where did I want to go over? Where did it? Okay, so yeah, I wanted to go over this right here. This is your Ask Host number 1. I kind of forgot. I was looking for number 1, but this is it right here. This is where you're going to want to ask that host, to see if they're interested in making some extra cash and becoming a consultant themselves. Let's scroll back down to number 2. So sometimes, let's see. So Thursday evening, this is when you'll send the message to your host. This is ask number 2. Again, it says right here, going to most likely say no or not respond to it. However, just send it anyways. Some of them, they're hesitant at first. They'll say no, but then if you kind of keep sending those messages, sometimes that no will turn into a yes. And then, let's see. So your party is gearing up. Can you tell? So right here is if they have received or haven't received orders, and then right here is where they have already received some orders. I'm pretty sure that Carolyn used this one on me, and that's when I first was like, ooh, yeah, I think I might be able to do this, but I'm not sure yet. But anyways, so then for your other post, here's day 3, Saturday. This is ask host number 3. So it says send as she is being, really engaged by doing her daily post. And I think this is where Carolyn might have hooked me in. Anyway, so interacting and being a rock star host, normally Saturdays, Sundays, normally no response will come from this message. Except for me, I hate leaving people hanging when they message me. I always respond back. So I was definitely interested at this point. That's day number 4. Okay, yeah, right here, day number 4. Now this is where you're gonna actually gain orders and gain future host by sending these messages. So this message you'll send out to your host and have them send this message individually out to their guest to see if they're going to be purchasing before we get that party closed out. And then while they're doing that, we're also going to be helping our host out by sending our own individual messages. So these right here are just, your options of what you can go through and, what to say when they respond. So if they haven't ordered, this is what you'll say. If they aren't planning on ordering, this is where you're going to use to go, the message you're going to use to go ahead and try to get a future host. Here's day number 5. Okay, so ask host number 4 on Monday. This is the 1. Okay, if you have done all of the above, this is a game changer. So like I said, I was an early yes. I didn't have to wait for all those 5 messages before I said yes, but some people do need that little push. So here's another message. Like I said, I recommend going through number 1 through 5 to hopefully get somebody to hook in and start being a consultant with us. Let's see. Okay, and these are just the options you can use as well if you're wanting to send the above. There's a couple more options. You can go over, you know, if their sales have hit a certain point, you can give your show to them instead if they decide to become a consultant. Okay, and then definitely make sure on ask number 5, you go over that kit credit with them, that what they have earned so far, if they have reached that point, this is everything that you need to go through. And also, you know, if they say no, send this. And I think we all know where that group page is. Sorry, guys, I just wanted to go through over this with you. I hope that you know, this helped, but I do want to stress that following this from A to Z is going to help you get those orders and get more hosts and hopefully get more consultants. So does anybody have any questions?
No.
So I just want to kind of touch on a couple of things, Miranda, because you hit the nail on the head. Both with our virtual party outline and with our host coaching outline, okay? Lots of times as consultants, we choose to pick it apart and do certain pieces of it. Mm-hmm. And it's really a full system from start to finish, okay? So what happens when you do anything only a quarter of the way? You normally don't get the maximized results that you typically would if you do something from start to finish. It's like anything else. You know, let's say you're building a piece of furniture, right? And you forget to put one leg on your table. Do you think your table's going to stand up forever? Probably not, right? Because it's only 3-sided.
Yeah.
So, you know, our system is built the same way, that especially with the recruiting end of it, if you ask 5 times, you guys, this is data-driven results from home office, okay? This isn't just something Becky pulled out of her backside and was like, oh, let's do this and this is going to work. This is actually data-driven from the top recruiting teams in our company. Okay, so this was designed by our top recruiters in our company, and 70% of people, when they are asked out of the 5 times on number 4, will say yes. Okay, 70%. But only if you have done 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Okay, because it's all about planting seeds. So it's just like bookings. It's the same exact thing. You know, you can't just ask somebody outright, right, about booking a show. Typically, it really turns people off when you're just like, hey, why don't you book a show with me, right? You have to build that relationship. You have to get them interested. You have to get them like oohing and eyeing over a certain product before they're kind of like, okay, I'm sold. And it's the same thing whether it's recruiting or booking a show. It's the same exact thing. They have to be salivating in order to really want to dive in and do it, okay? So if you pick and choose from the templates, that's the kind of results that you're going to get. If you use that host coaching system from start to finish and you literally send the messages as they are written, you are going to get the results that you want, okay? Which is a party with more than 40 people in it. It's going to be an engaged host, and it's going to be a potential recruit lead for you. If you send the words out as they are written to the guests, like we're supposed to on Sundays, you're going to have lots of potential future hosts and some bookings from it as well. So it's not really, virtual parties are not just about one party and, oh my God, I'm going to get 15 recruits from it. I'm going to get 15 hosts from it, and I'm going to have $1,000 in sales. That's not how they work. Okay. Everything you do in direct sales is built around relationships and connections. And if you don't establish those with people, you're not going to get the results. And that's why, you know, we've put this together so that it's literally a copy and paste, because, you know, out of 110 people that are on our team, I would say probably 80% of you guys have a full-time job, right? You're working. And so to make it easy, this is a foolproof system for you so that you don't really have to think about it. All you have to do is copy and paste and just do it, pretty much.
Yeah. And that's what makes it so easy as well. And I do have to admit that I have before skipped a couple of, and it hurt. It hurt not going from A to Z. It really did. And I realized that. And it's changed. It was a big game changer. I mean, this month's been hard, but still, it's just because of Christmas and everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But at the same time, though,
I'm a data person, right? I'm
Yeah.
a total numbers junkie. Like that's my thing. I love to like analyze things. And, I'll admit, like, when I'm doing 12 or 14 cooking shows in a month, and plus I have 12 or 14 virtual parties, the virtual parties are the easiest thing for me to not do 100%, right? Because my cooking shows, that's where my bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
But in November, I literally, I challenged myself, right, to not only do what I know I need to do with my cooking shows, but also follow the systems from start to finish, A through Z, with the virtual end of it as well. So, I mean, I did over $12,000 in sales. Half of it was virtuals and half of it was cooking shows. Okay.
Wow.
I booked 13 shows for my virtual parties by following those systems, and I had a recruit.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's definitely something that if you follow it from start to finish, you're going to drive your sales. The sales will be there. The bookings will be there. The more people that you have, the more leads that you're going to get both with booking and recruiting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the differences between cooking shows versus virtual parties, with cooking shows, you're limiting your audience, right? You're normally only going to get, 8 to 10 to 12 to 15 people at a cooking show on average. And with virtual parties, it's endless. If you use these systems, you have the opportunity to put yourself in front of so many more people to really drive home those results.
Yeah. I hear you. All right.
So Christine, are you using the systems from start to finish?
Yeah, I've been using that.
Okay. And how are you doing schedule wise? Is there anything that we can help you with?
I just haven't been able to get people to really schedule anything. I've been having to think outside the box to try to schedule anything.
Okay. Are you following all the steps as far as getting the attendance at the parties and having an engaged host and sending the messages?
Oh yeah, I've been trying to do that, but I have not been able to. I mean, when I started, I told Tiffany it was gonna be difficult for me to get people to have parties and stuff, and that's exactly what I've been doing. So some of the parties that I've been having, I've been doing my own parties. Like I had the mystery host party. I've actually scheduled 3 of my own parties. 2 of them went okay. 2 of them went well. I was going to tell you one of them, what that I did was kind of a weird one, but I ended up getting like $300 in sales. I did a family across the miles type thing where I invited, like, it was strictly all family because I have a very large extended family.
Right.
It was only family members. Now what I did was I couldn't even get anybody from family members to even book a party.
Okay.
But what I did as a gift, my gift to them for the family, it was right before Thanksgiving. It was kind of like, because we can't really get together with the family and stuff. I gave them a put in my gift to them was I gave them a discount for anybody who ordered. So that came out of my own pocket. But people who hadn't ordered before. So, I mean, it cost me money, but that was my gift to them. But they were people who hadn't even ordered before, but at least they participated.
Okay.
So that was one of them. And then there was I did another party, fairly qualified, but I got it in there.
Of your own, Christine, or?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I've been trying to get my own, and that's why I end up getting in Facebook jail all the time because of that.
So I want to warn you guys against doing so many parties of your own, okay? And reason being is because you burn your people out. You burn your circles of friends and family out really quick. And so that every time that they get invited to another party, it's just another party. It's like, oh my gosh, it's another party. They tune you out. Eventually they will tune you out, okay?
Yeah, what I try to do is get different groups of people. I don't go to the same groups of people. So like some of them were some of the groups were like the one I focused on people from high school and that kind of stuff. The other ones were, you know, only Facebook friends that I like through years of being Facebook friends. And that's,
So you're not inviting everybody from your friends list.
Right,
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're being very decisive about who you're inviting to that party. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not re-inviting the same ones over and over again.
Okay.
However, I do let other people know that I'm having it. And
Right.
Going in to let, you know.
Okay.
That's why I specifically did the group, you know, the family, strictly family part.
Right.
But then I have a friend of mine who, she'll join in on my parties to help keep things going and be active and everything. So she'll join in on the parties. She's kind of like,
Oh, that's nice.
Right. Yeah. Like a go-to kind of person.
yeah.
Okay,
So she's
so-
kind of my ringer.
My other question is, as far as messaging goes with people to try to get bookings, how far down your friends list are you?
I go down all the way to the bottom. I've gone through A to Z, and I've already went back up to the top again.
Okay. And that's good. You know, because you don't want to, so there's so many people that what we typically do is we only focus on the people that are green dot and active on Facebook. Okay. And so you constantly have the same 200 or 300 people that are on Facebook from your friends list generally. And so if you're only using the green dot method, which has been around forever and ever with direct sales, you're only touching a percentage of your friends and family. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's why I always kind of steer you guys to just going to your actual friends list and starting alphabetically, because it gives you a starting and a stopping point. Okay. The key to using that method though is to not be selective, right? Don't say this person's going to, this person won't, you know, don't judge who will and who won't, just send the message. You know, this is the part where we have to take our heart out of it and just let our brain work, right? And let our fingers work. You know, we can't use the judgmental thing that we normally do. And it's like, oh, I'll send the message, but I know she's not going to book a show with me. You know, and I'll tell you, in 8 years, I've never made it down my friends list. I have never made it down through my friends list in 8 years.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah. So that's where the next kind of, I guess, questioning process of this is, if people are responding to you, is how are they responding to you and how are you responding to them? You know, again, so many times when someone says no to us, we're kind of like, oh, okay. You know, or we just kind of take it instead of trying to say, okay, so let me analyze this for a second. And how can I get this person to switch their mind, right? Because think about it. Most people, when you send a booking message out, they think that you want them to do a party tomorrow, right? Like the mentality is, right now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Miranda just messaged me. She wants me to host a party and I am so busy today. I have no time. I can't breathe. You know, Christmas is next week. And that's how we think about it when people message us. We don't think 30 days from now, right? We only think in our near future. And so if I've messaged Miranda and Miranda's like, oh my gosh, I would love to, but I'm so busy, right? Instead of saying, oh, okay, I'll touch back later with you, right? The response should be, oh my gosh, Miranda, you are crazy. I would love to do a party with you this week, but I'm just as busy as you are, right? How about next month? Would next month work better for you?
Yeah, I've actually had, because I've been trying my hardest to get December parties, because I've had the first, half of the month December parties, but this last half I've been like freaking out. Like I have no parties.
Yeah, I don't either.
I've been asking, but nobody wants to. But then their response is because it's Christmas.
Yeah.
And maybe another time. And I'm like, how about January? And then I'm like, how will January 2nd work for you? And they're like, sure, okay.
Exactly.
Free bookings from that for January. So I'm not worried about January.
Yeah.
But
it's really, and I'm honest, you guys know me, I'm not going to lie to you. The second half of December is hard. It's hard. I don't even fool with it, to be honest with you. That's why I pack my first 2 weeks of December so that I can actually take a breath and a break. Okay. I intentionally do this every year, and I have done this for the last 7 years. More so I'm excited because I have surgery obviously on Wednesday, and I'm like, yay, I don't have to worry about shows. But the other reason, okay, is that I'm also preparing myself for the new year. Okay. So this is when I focus in on getting myself organized. I get my office cleaned up. I get everything ready to go for January. I start working on my taxes. I make host packets. Like I get myself, set up with normally about 100 host packets, so that I don't have to keep doing things that are repetitive, so that it's just done. Right. So if you kind of break down how many shows you normally do a month, Miranda, so say you do 8 shows a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would go through and I'd be like, okay, if I do 8 shows on average a month and I want to get myself ready for the first quarter, how about I just make 40 host packets right now at one time? And then it's not you're constantly touching that same stuff over and over and over again. It's already done for you. Right?
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. So I sit down, my kids help me. My kids.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, they put the labels on the catalogs for me. They stuff, my envelopes with me. Like we set up an assembly line and everybody has their paper.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So I get them involved in it,
I'm going to need to get me some stickers. I write everything out. And that's like, okay.
Oh, no, thank you.
I do, but I'm going to need to. I have our printer. I need to get more ink for my printer.
Okay.
But I got the stickers.
So I use the second half of the month, though, to really focus on organizing myself and really packing out the calendar for January. Because the more shows that you start the year off with, the better your first half of the year is going to be. Okay? If you start your January off and it's a little sketchy and a little rocky, you're typically not going to have a good February right before the new catalog comes out in March. Because normally most people, when they find out the new catalog's coming out in March, they're not going to book February with you. They're going to wait to do March, right?
Yeah.
But if I have a ton of January shows, I can get the bookings from the January shows for February. February carries me through to March. Okay. You get where I'm going. Like it's rock solid that way.
Yeah.
So normally what I recommend is that, if you want to do 8 shows in January, schedule 10. Okay. Because you're going to have some cancellation there normally with the weather and whatever. People make excuses. I don't have money, blah, blah, blah. It's the first of the year. Yes, they booked the show in December knowing that, whatever. But you're normally going to have a couple cancellations in January. So I normally always add like 2 or 3 extra shows just in case. But, going back to the whole friends list and the messaging thing, don't be afraid to overcome the objection with people. And if they still say no, okay, if they still say, yeah, I don't think January is going to be good either, then my immediate response to them is, okay, no worries. Hey, we have a brand new catalog coming out in March. How about I circle back around with you in February? So you want to always ask permission from them. And does anyone know why you ask permission?
So I don't know, to remind them, and so it doesn't become annoying maybe that they're getting another message that they already told you.
Exactly. So if they tell you to do something, right, it's different than me just doing it. So if you give me permission to reach back out to you, when I send the message, they're more likely to respond because they know that they gave you permission, right?
Yeah.
But here's the flip side of that coin, is that if you tell them you're going to message them in February, then you better message them in February.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, and they gave you permission to do it, and you don't do it, then next time you message them, they have every right to say no to you, right? Because we haven't done our jobs done.
Yeah.
So always keep a list. I don't care if you have it in a notebook, if you keep it digital, whatever, in your calendar, keep some kind of list to remind yourself. When you tell people you're going to do something, have a way to make sure that you're tracking that and a way to follow back up with them, always. Because it's the easiest. Yes, I love a good old notebook. I have like 15 notebooks in here. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, Christine, the easiest thing for you to do, though, honestly, is, if you are going down through your friends list, just take screenshots. If you're not comfortable overcoming objections with people, I find 9 times out of 10 consultants, when they're having issues booking shows, it always comes back to the verbiage and their word choices. Okay. So maybe, our personalities sometimes are a little too strong for people. And so our verbiage and our word choices are a little too strong response-wise to people. And so they're kind of like, I'm just not, no, I'm just, or they don't respond at all. So sometimes it's just figuring out the right response back to them is normally what, will help get you through.
Actually, the thing that I'm actually coming up against is one, they've just had a party. Okay, it's number one. Number two, they already have a relationship with another consultant.
Okay.
Okay. Or three, they've already been a consultant. They're not interested at all. They have, is what it is, that they've already, they have everything they want and they're not interested. They're burned out on Pampered Chef. Those are my three main objections that I get.
Okay.
I can't believe I actually have, and I didn't even know this, I actually have 4 relatives who have been consultants in the past. One of them actually still, though, loves Pampered Chef, and she was my first very successful party. So
let me ask you this. So have you made it all the way down your friends list? Because I would probably guarantee you haven't made it completely down the friends list.
Oh, no. I'm still working on it. Yeah.
Okay. So, that's your starting and your stopping point, right?
Yeah.
You get down through it as fast as you can so that you literally can start back over when you need to, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that if you find that you're running into a lot of what you said with, my friends, have consultants. First of all, those are the people I'm like, oh my gosh, you are so amazing for totally sticking by your consultant. That is awesome.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say, if anything ever happens that you don't have your consultant,
yep,
decide to change or leave, let me know, give me a call. You have any questions, if they're not available, I'm here for you, and I leave it at that. So,
and the other people, so the people that are burned out on Pampered Chef, or, the people that have just recently had parties, that's where you ask for referrals. Referrals in this business are huge, right? They are some of the best parties I've ever had have been from referrals. Right. Because, you're a trusted name. And if you're a trusted friend, then they're 3 times more likely to refer you out to their friends. So you ask them, hey, I'm really at a point in my business where I could use some help. Is there any way that if I send you some words to post on your Facebook, on your Facebook wall, that you would, do a post to refer me to your friends for Pampered Chef?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because and honestly, if you can get those people to use very selective words that you send and have them tag you in it, first of all, you're getting tagged, so it's being sent to all their friends, and it's also tagging you so that your friends see it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So those people that have been kind of questioning in their minds that are your friends, whether they want to have a party with you or don't want to have a party with you, when they see somebody is posting and referring you out to their friends, that sometimes is the tipping point and will get people that have been on the fence that are your friends ready to say yes. Okay. So always ask for a referral. If they're a dead set no, right? If you get to the point with a customer where they're like, no, I don't ever want to do a Pampered Chef party with you, leave me alone, ask for a referral. Okay. Or if they're so burned out with Pampered Chef, ask for a referral. Always ask for a referral. If the answer is no, ask for a referral.
Good idea.
Sometimes that'll get you some new contacts. And there's obviously tons and tons of ways, that I found in the last 8 years to really kind of get you through those kind of points. But it's really about exhausting what you have in front of you first before you really need to deep dive into other methods. Okay. So awesome. Did you have anything else to cover, Miss Miranda?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, but thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks for doing our training this evening. And Christine, did you have any questions or need help with anything else?
The only thing I would like to do is I would like more information on doing more on more live cooking shows. So
Okay.
a little more guidance on some of those. I mean, I see what it is. Went to your show. So people are talking about this. People have said to me that they're kind of getting burned out because it seems like people are only on Facebook anymore because they're selling things. So, and because of all of the changes with Facebook going on, I'd like to try to do more cooking shows.
Right. And so that's when you start asking for cooking shows then. Instead of
Right.
sending the messages out for, booking virtual parties, change it up and start, trying to schedule cooking shows yourself. And I'll tell you, the best thing that you can do to start doing cooking shows is to do your own cooking show in your home. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to do that myself. I haven't done any cooking shows either.
Yeah, you pick your closest 5 friends. It doesn't have to be anything huge. Okay. You pick your closest 5 friends and do a cooking show with them. Let them be your guinea pigs. And that's what I call them. Who wants to be my guinea pig? And you invite them over to your house. It's nothing formal. It's just fun. Okay. But here's the difference. 2 things. You have those friends bring a friend with them that you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That helps you get out of your circle of friends and family.
Yeah.
So that's point number 1. And if they bring a friend along, compensate them, give them a little something for doing it, whether it's free shipping or, a gift or whatever. But you have them all bring a friend along. Here's the other thing. When you're there at the cooking show, you have your friends go live from their Facebook, from your party.
Okay.
Okay. That creates fun, right? That gets the fun factor going. You go live into your VIP group. They go live onto their wall and talk about it. And again, tag you in it so that it's getting out there to their friends. And again, you have them ask people, hey, if I had a cooking show, who would want to come?
Okay.
Right? So
It's good ideas.
that's how you start though. If you don't have any host, you're always your own host, right? You can always be your own host anytime you want to be. And the thing about it is when you're going to do a cooking show, the best way to attract cooking shows is by doing your own cooking show.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I need to step out of my comfort zone and do one.
They're so much fun. I love my cooking shows. I love them. Now, and on the team document, Christine, have you went through the whole A through Z process of cooking shows in there?
I went through the team document. I went through it. I did do the one cooking show. It went so fast. It seemed like I did two items. I did what I called a Power Tools cooking show, like what you had done. I used the quick cooker and I used
No. I mean, in the training document, have you kind of like we have our virtual party A through Z system and our host coaching system? There's actually a section in there for cooking shows.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's my start to finish, like training for cooking shows.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure you've seen that. Okay.
Yeah, I did go through that, but yeah, I went through it. It's just, yeah, I wanted to comparing, okay, what is the difference between what you do and the kinds that they offer through the company? Like they offer the different topics, like what is it?
Like station style. There's like a demo, regular demo style.
What is it? Apps and sips and apps or something?
Oh, those are just themes. So that's
themes.
a theme for a party doesn't change the basic concept of a cooking show. Okay. So a theme really is just about selecting the recipes to kind of create a mood. Okay. That's really all a theme is designed to do. So structure wise for a cooking show though, your options are going to be to do a demo style show, which is what I do. Okay. Where you're kind of like the teacher in front of all the students. Okay. Which I would say the majority of our company, that's how we do cooking shows. But then we also have a hands-on style show, which is called station style shows, where you basically take a recipe and you break it up into different sections and the guests are hands-on using the tools and making the recipe together. Okay. So those are the 2 formats that you know, you're going to hear the most about when we're talking about cooking shows. So it's station style or more of a hands-on demo. And you just have to kind of, again, feel it out and figure out what's good for you. And that's why I say when you open your home up and you do your own cooking show, you can see which style works best for you. You know, and I'll tell you, there's definitely a generational thing with what people prefer. So the younger generation, like Miranda's age, they prefer a hands-on style show. They like to be involved. They like to interact. They just like to socialize. Where the older, you know, the people that have been around a while and been to Pampered Chef parties prefer the consultant to just do the demo. So you kind of have to, I say, get comfortable with both styles. That way you can kind of really gear that show toward whatever your group of people, you know, prefer. And that's really when you become a really well-seasoned, like well-rounded consultant, is when you can kind of hit all of the facets of, you know, everything that we do. But I'm telling you guys, I would love to see more of you guys doing cooking shows, because I'm telling you, they're so much easier to get bookings. They're so much easier to make sales than in a virtual party. I mean, how would you like to, Miranda, how would you like to walk into someone's kitchen and them hand you $200 in orders and you haven't even started the party yet?
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that, family and friends that don't do Facebook. So I think I probably could get a lot to do some.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I just had been wondering, because one of my consultants was going to do one, but then I got canceled, and I was going to tag along with Jennifer. Because I didn't know how to, you know, where to start. And that was like when Jennifer first signed up. But then I haven't even tried to even offer them.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, starting out with your own is going to kick it off.
And so that's awesome, though, because that leads me into my next little kind of plug, is that, you know how we're all doing our own monthly trainings, like you are, Tiffany, Roxanne, Carolyn, everyone is. That's what my training is going to be designed around, is cooking shows in the new year. So
nice.
every month I'm going to be doing a 45-minute training every month on cooking shows. So,
I was going to suggest you should record your cooking shows.
I have some recorded. There's some recorded
in
that piece of the in the Wolfpack document. There's some of my stuff.
Videos.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look at them.
I was watching some on YouTube. There's some on YouTube as well.
I have so many YouTube videos. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was watching some other, and then there were some others, and I guess I did some teams kind of like did a mock training type thing. I watched some of those, but some of them are pretty old, and they pulled out these folder things of using pointers and pointing.
We still have it. We still have that. Yep.
Oh,
We still have it. Yep.
I was like wondering where I wanted to ask you where you got some of those tools, because I was looking at Staples. I couldn't find some of those tools, if there were certain places where you got those tools.
Yeah, so that little thing that they talk about, the host benefits, and then the other side talks about the opportunity is on the other side. It's actually in our supplies. In supplies, it's in there.
Oh,
It's called the recruiting slide, or hosting and recruiting slide, or something like that is what it's called.
okay.
I'll see if I can't find it, and I'll send you a link for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
All right, my friends.
Okay.
Thank you again, Miss Miranda.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.